the grandness of my soul. I am ready.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon. Come a little closer. Come a little closer. And if you do, indeed you might experience the grandness of your soul. The circle of 12, this safe place, may seem like another meditation. Perhaps a different one. But there will be those who say it's simply a nice one, a fresh new approach, some might say. It isn't. What we are giving you here, that is starting all over the planet, is new. Imagine for a moment this metaphor that you've used so often of a veil that separates you from that which is the divine. So often you will say, and even in the channels I will say, something is beyond the veil. Even one of the books that my partner has, that is my channeling, uses that phrase, beyond the veil. So the veil is a metaphor for a separation. And the separation is profound. The separation is what creates so many diverse spiritual systems on the planet. The separation is then representational of how you then cross that veil and get messages to and from the creative source, which you have called God. So all of that which I have just given you is, you might say, the entire reason you're here. How do I do this? How do I do that? How is it that the Creator can talk to me, or I can talk to the Creator? How can I be healed using divinity and consciousness that is new? All of these questions truly have to do with the veil. Here's what I want to tell you that is new. If that veil remains constant and consistent, then nothing will change in meditation, in prayer, in instructions, in sacredness. You will simply continue to learn how to work with something that is static and never changes. What if it does change? What if, dear ones, the veil starts to thin, or as some have said, it starts to lift? These, again, are metaphors. Truly, there is no real veil. Truly, there is no lifting. But the metaphor would say the energy between you and the Creator is starting to meld in a way it never has before. Instead of there being a wall, there isn't. You might say the wall now has perforations in it, and through those perforations are flowing things that are new, different energies. Some of you can see, some of you can feel, all of you can use it. You might say the veil is lifting and giving you awareness. Since 2012, this has been the promise. The nodes and the nulls of the planet begin to release that which is a catalyst for this veil starting to lift. There is help, and always has been. When you decided to stay on this planet and not destroy yourselves in those early years of the millennium shift and change, you knew something was happening. Almost all of your spiritual systems said you'd be gone by now, the end of the world by now. And you're not. 20 years later, after, you might have been gone. But you're not. That should have told you something. And so here come the promised things we told you would exist. And those things are represented by a lifting of the veil, by new energy showing up, by awarenesses starting to change. The 3 channelings I have given you in the last 3 weeks of shows reflect exactly this. Rewriting sacred truths. Rewriting them with what? With permission, because you now have new information flowing through the veil. And one of these is the circle of 12. A time which allows you to move into your soul in a way that was very difficult before and that only masters did easily. Because the veil is lifting. And how do we do that? Through metaphors, through visualizations for those who wish to use them, through any kind of 3-dimensional perceptions that will let you cross into a multidimensional place. This is the teaching, and will continue to be. I want you to understand what happens when you cross this bridge we're about to cross. From the very beginning of these programs, we have given you a premise. And the premise is you're crossing from the known to the unknown. An easy statement to say, but not an easy statement to perceive totally. How do you perceive something you don't know about? If we said, make your mind blank, everyone make your mind blank now, show yourself what you don't know. And you would say that this is not really conceivable. It's not something that perhaps you would be able to do, and no spiritual leader is going to tell you to do that. That's why we lead you by the hand across a bridge. Now, the bridge truly symbolizes a safe way. It's a pathway that has been built for you. That's a metaphor. So you can safely cross into that which you don't know. And when you get there, we try to paint pictures. Some of you have said, I'm having trouble with the pictures. And so we invite you to draw something and look at it. Anything to get you to a perception that is comfortable in a place you've never been. You know how humanity feels about going to places they've never been. There is anxiety, often. Nervousness, often. First time, perhaps, you've ever crossed into another country that you've only heard about and they speak other languages. You may love the sights, but you're uncomfortable or perhaps nervous because you don't know what to do exactly. And there are customs that you don't know about exactly and language you cannot understand. Signs that tell you where the streets are that you cannot read. It's like that, only it's much bigger. You grew up in 4 dimensions. That's it. Height, width, depth, and time. And past that, everything is a mystery. It's so interesting and has even been said on this very program today in the questions and answers that humanity cannot see multidimensional things accurately because there's no template to see them. And so they make up what they see, and the mind then tries to categorize everything it knows when it sees a multidimensional object and places a value on it through perhaps a shape. And that's what you see. And that's why no one sees the same thing when it comes to angelic presences. We're going to cross the bridge together again. But I'm giving you the basics again so you'll understand the profundity of a new kind of energy. It's flowing in right now for you to perceive if you wish. If you're here to simply feel good, I'll tell you, feel good. And that is then the purpose, and that would be something you walk away with, message received and achieved. But there's more if you want. If you're here to meet yourself in a way you never have before, you're in the right place. There's a bridge. And in the middle of the bridge, there is a mist. This is on purpose. If you are one that does not sense the mist and does not see the mist, you are so ready to go. And this would be those who have gone through it often enough. Kryon, why do you have to keep saying there's a mist? I don't say a mist because you are among family, some of whom just arrived. Let there be a mist for them. Why don't you take their hand and lead them into an unknown place? Dear ones, take my hand. Let's go through the mist in the middle of the bridge now. It's so difficult to describe what is possible at the moment. If you believe there is energy you have not seen or felt before and want it, feel it now. One of the energies that can flow through you, which is brand new and is available on this side of the mist, is healing. It's a new kind of healing because it comes through understanding. It doesn't come through the magic of some kind of cellular advancement. It comes through understanding. It comes through a higher consciousness that truly completes your cellular structure. Are you aware that none of your cells are complete? None. You're only living at about 35% of what is actually available to you. And the rest of that falls into higher vibrating biology, higher vibrating consciousness, mastery, living for a very long time because of it. Imagine that. What if the very idea of going to this multidimensional place that is yours and your soul energy, what if that very idea of going there starts to complete your cellular structure? And what happens when your cellular structure becomes more complete, more aware, more robust, more understanding? And the answer we've given you before, disease cannot attach itself. Disease will fly from the cells. It's not appropriate anymore. It can't be there. What about that? Did you ever think of that? If you're here for a healing and you think it's going to be something that zaps you or comes at you in a strange way, it doesn't, dear ones. It comes in the way of seed planting, something that is amazingly beautiful that you've never had before. Understanding, awareness at a cellular level. We've told you that where you stand now can be anything at all because it's multidimensional. You have no template or pattern. You've never seen anything here before. So make it up. Is it beautiful Gaia, trees, grass, sky, ocean, perhaps? It's anything that makes you feel the most peaceful you've ever felt in your life. Is it a gathering of loved ones? Is it family? It's all of those things because all of those things are here in this place where you are. You are in that membrane, if you want to call it, that veil that has separated you for so long between the 4D you and the multidimensional you. You step into your soul. Go through this portal with me that is in front of you. It can look like anything you want. We have said it's perhaps a doorway. Sometimes there's a door, sometimes there's not. That depends upon your mind of how easy it is to walk into these sacred places. There's a name on the door. It cannot be read, but it's your name. We've said that before. You can't read it because it's in a language of light, and you don't know that yet. You walk through that into a place that is a theater, and you've seen this before. Something's going to happen today in that theater. It's all part of that which happens almost every time we're there. The theater's in the round, and there's an audience already seated. And you're going to go down some steps in order to climb up on the stage. This is a stage today without a chair. You don't sit in a chair today. You're going to stand and receive. That's what the idea is of this Circle of 12 today. Isn't it time for the healing you came for? Who is in the audience as you take that place on the stage? Who is in that audience? I will tell you, everyone, especially those who have had a very high vibration on this planet. When I say everyone, it's because there is an attribute we told you about before, where all souls exist in every soul. Figure that out. You deal with a God who can hear all prayers all the time from all of you and every planet that exists. Is it too much of a stretch that all souls would be all together in one soul, and all souls would be together in one soul? That is multidimensionality. No wonder it's difficult. In the audience is everyone. However, the ones that are closest to the stage that you are aware of as you start to take your place standing on the stage truly are high vibrational humanity. These are humans on this planet now and in the past who have achieved awareness, perhaps even ascension. There's many of them from many cultures. The indigenous are there. So many are there. And they look at you and they're about ready to do something. Oh, you are about ready to. Oh, if you believe these things are real and can happen, get ready for a shift. I want you to stand on the stage figuratively with your arms outstretched in a receiving, palms up position. I want you to shut your eyes and get ready to receive. All barriers that might keep you from receiving are dropped at this moment. You are here to receive. And the audience will start to outstretch their hands. The men and the women of high vibration are now going to transmit to you completeness. Every cell in their body is more complete than yours, because that is who is in the audience. That is who you're studying. Sometimes those are the ones you worship. Sometimes those are the ones that have the knowledge you wish you had. I want you to picture this. Let's say that your system is working only at 30 to 35% of completeness, and they will send you something that will make it work at double that. What if they could help complete your cellular structure to make it more aware, to make it vibrate higher? And the answer is they can, and that's why they're here. It's in your soul, dear ones. It always has been. These are metaphors of something that always existed. But now as the veil lifts, we can give you pictures of it, ways to attain it, ways of pulling it to you or observing it or visualizing or perceiving so you can get it. Because it is in an unknown reality. I want you to stand on the stage. You can visualize that. I want you to open your hands. You can visualize that. Close your eyes and receive. And they are transmitting a completeness, a wholeness. So when this time is over that you call the Healing Wednesdays and you turn off that device that you're looking at, you are going to know something happened. Because it's real. Stay and receive, stay and receive, stay and receive, stay. And so it is. And the healing is the healing of anxiety, the healing of not positive thinking. I mean, in other words, negativity. The healing of any block that you have that keeps you from your magnificence is something you can heal. So all that the sphere offers doesn't necessarily mean chemistry. It means everything else, the consciousness of getting through the blocks, as you have said. So you're a healer, both of you.
Yeah, and so it's like
so.
Breaking through the perceptions of the lack of our greatness, whatever that is.
And the interesting thing that you just said, Lee, was that, when we're working on the sphere for healing, we're actually not focusing on the problems. We're focusing on the ideal end result, like my perfect health and what I can do and all of the wonderful experiences I'm going to have because of my perfect health. So as we focus on where we want to go, which is as divine creators, whatever you put your energy to, you create more of. So you just focus on that, and the wonderful thing, the sphere helps us drop all of that other baggage, energy type stuff that doesn't serve us. So we kind of short track the whole going here and there to try and heal things. We just focus on the end result.
Also, I just wanted to give you my idea, just as you were saying this, that one of the parables of Kryon, and I've also heard this in other places, was the man who comes out and finds a block of cement or something or stone in his yard, and he realizes there's something in there, and he becomes to chip away things, and he realizes he's a sculptor, and it's a beautiful statue. What he's done, he's just simply removed what didn't serve him, in order to have the magnificence of the piece of art that he created. So what you are saying, what you said, and I like to tell my listeners too, is that it's already there. That the greatest things in your life and the things that you're asking for, including healing of the body or anxiety or what to do next, it's already there. And so this process, if I'm right, helps you to get through all of the rock and the stone to reveal it.
Absolutely. And, one of the things that Ishtara talks a lot about is take your desires and your dreams seriously, because there's a reason your desires and your dreams are dropped inside of you. And so take them seriously, don't doubt yourself, and then you really can get into action that all of it is possible. And when you're living in that field of solution energy and infinite possibilities, then you can connect with solution and experience and pathways that you didn't know were available to you before. So that your infinite potential can be realized while you're still in 3D, right? Not wait till you're out of 3D, not wait till you're out of the physical. You get to do it here and now, which is really the ultimate experience in an ascended form, is we're not waiting.
Absolutely beautiful. All of what I experienced in that sphere is, as Kryon says, it's not about doing, it's about being. And Paul, you opened with that, saying that we already are the multidimensional beings. And this is a wonderful pathway where we can just sit and let it come to us. So simple, so easy, and I encourage all of you to watch the replay, go to their website, connect with your multidimensional being that's already there, and it's time for a break.
It is, and we're saying goodbye and to you guys, and thank you so much for being here, and it is indeed now time for a break. And so we see you in 10 minutes. Hi, everyone, and welcome back from break. I hope you had a nice one. I always say that. Thank you for Paul and Holly.
Weren't they great?
I love having the duos together,
Yes.
and we've had a couple of them now. We've had the two guys, and it's going to happen more and more. So they're fun to see the interaction, and it's like I hope we're fun. Just hope. But anyway, so you.
What I love is the diversity of everyone we've had so far. And I think that's what everyone, the feedback I'm getting from people is that you're also loving the diversity.
Yeah. And can you tell we enjoy these programs? This is not a job. It truly is not. This is a blessing. To be with these people, to have them come into the show. I have so many more friends now than I've ever had before because all of these folks, I feel, are family.
Absolutely.
As we present them to you.
Yeah. So let's move into the favorite part, which is the Circle of 12. And as we prepare for the Circle of 12, let's begin by giving some statements of intent. And I will say each intent 3 times, and you're invited to say them silently or aloud, and I allow space for you to say them yourself. I release all expectations, and I am willing to be open to the energy of compassion in my life. I release all expectations, and I am willing to be open to the energy of compassion in my life. I release all expectations, and I am willing to be open to the energy of compassion in my life. I accept the perfect love of the Creator. I accept the perfect love of the Creator. I accept the perfect love of the Creator. I give permission to experience the grandness of my soul. I give permission to experience the grandness of my soul. I give permission to experience the grandness of my soul. I am ready.
It's a surprisingly easy thing to learn. It's unlimited in the way it can help you in everyday life. Also, I happen to know that if you want to go to their website, which, by the way, you're going to see because it's advertised all around you and it's on our chat, there's great personal stories, a lot of them, that are really, really something to read, and they're on their website.
Now, Holly Hawkins Marwood is an international Akashic record teacher and reader. I know many of you have been wondering, where can I get my Akashic record read? So this would be Holly. And she's also a conscious channel for Ishtara, the High Council of Orion, and many more. Holly facilitates guidance sessions, workshops, and she does seminars both locally and internationally.
Paul Marwood is an Akashic record teacher and reader, so they're both doing this. He's an international speaker and trainer in spirituality, energy medicine, healing, and transformational soul and life guidance. So both of them are co-founders of the three multidimensional transformational processes. That's a mouthful. But think of this very, very Kryon-esque, because this whole Circle of 12 experience takes you into a multidimensional place, if you can call it a place. So here are teachers of three processes that have that in common. Taught from the higher dimensional realms to accelerate your ascension, help you move to greater alignment with your inner guidance, helps to fulfill your life purpose and desire with expanded consciousness and ease. We like that part.
Absolutely. And so I want to welcome them to the show, and they have a topic for today, and it's all about the universal sphere, new solutions for a new age. So please tell us everything about what is the universal sphere and how it can help us today.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you and to share. First of all, it's so great to connect.
What a wonderful introduction. Thank you both.
Welcome. It was easy to read except for that one section with a lot of big words.
It was a mouthful.
So I want you to start at the beginning, because when somebody hears this thing, just the whole idea of a universal sphere, what is it? How did it get to you, and how does it work?
So how it got to us was through a channel, and a beautiful channel who we've worked with since 2011. Her name is Ishara, and she refers to herself as an ancient Egyptian warrior priestess. And she and I have had many lifetimes together in the physical, where we were both in the physical at the same time. Sometimes, like now, she's non-physical and I'm physical, but we've had this long multi-lifetime relationship, and she brought it to us at the end of 2011.
And it's just so, I think much like yourselves, we are sort of the arms and legs and mouthpieces of our non-physical teachers that bring through new information to help us, re-understand that the greater possibilities out there, and the greater, what really is the greater universe, and we tend to just perceive our little physical world. So, I think some of the foundational ideas we're learning as part of this ascension process is the old ways were, we had to suffer, we had to work hard, and all of the really wonderful goodies are somewhere else, and we had to work hard to get to them, meditate on top of a mountain for 7 years or something like that, to be able to achieve that, and that's not actually true, so each of us really are already at our core these beautiful multidimensional beings, and so it's all available to us right here, right now. And we've kind of just got to get ourselves out of the way, one might say. And it doesn't have to be so hard.
One of the things, and just even before we go further, I want to make sure that I might have typed this wrong to read it. Is it Ishtara or Ishtara?
It's Ishtara,
Okay.
Ishtara.
Okay, I got that right.
The way she says it through me is it almost sounds like a D. That's just more like her accent of it, I guess is the right way to say it.
Great.
She speaks a little differently than I do.
Well, thanks. Sorry for the interruption. Please continue.
No, that's fine. So going back to this idea of, our multidimensionality, our collective consciousness on this planet has really been conditioned to suffering and hard and shutting things down and literally this delayed gratification that let's see if you got it right, and we'll see after you transition, where you're going to go. And we know all those old stories. But the truth is we already, as Paul said, we already are multidimensional beings, and we already exist in all the different dimensional realms. And what happens when we come down into this 3D, and we've done it so many times, we just jump back into it right away, is that we forget our multidimensionality. We forget that potential. And so what we start to do is we lose track of it, because what we start to do is only source life and our understanding and our interaction based on this information that's in the physical. And we forget that we have access to all these other things that we know about when we're not in the physical body. And so what the consequence of this, when we get here in 3D and we forget how beautiful, exquisite, multidimensional light beings that we are, we start to feel stuck, and we really get attached to all these extremely polarized experiences, duality, right? And so the idea here is that what we really want to do to create a new experience here is to really find an easy way to consciously, intentionally reconnect with this multidimensional potential in a way that's not hard. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be through suffering. It doesn't have to be through sidetracking in lots of different directions. And so, as you already heard, that we've been working with this specific energy with the universal sphere for 11 years now. And not only did Ishara come in that night and teach it to us, it wasn't just that. Since then, she has continued to give us new teachings that are constantly reframing what we understand here into a new point of view. She's a master at reframing things, just taking what we know and maybe giving it a 90-degree or 45-degree twist so that we see it in a whole new light, make it easy, and understand that all that we're dreaming about, that maybe we hope we can experience in the future, actually can be part of our reality right now.
Yeah. And some of the things I like to say about the benefits, that really, again, it's helping us start to reach out more sort of energetically as well, because of course most of us tend to be a little focused on the physical and our five senses, but as soon as we start to evolve beyond that, we can still be in our physical form but operate multidimensionally. It helps us also live our lives with a greater inflow of information, thoughts and guidance from our higher selves, etc., our soul, to just bring us to that greater alignment that we are and can be in our highest potential as this divine creator and live our lives accordingly, And as part of that, this connection, as we expand our awareness, we start to become more aware of, as Ishtar calls, the unified field, the field that connects everything together. We start to realize we're really a part of everything. We start to lose that separateness. So, you literally fall in love with everybody around you because, you've suddenly realized we're all connected. And as part of that, we start to also realize that there really is this, one could say, if we put a word to it, a field of infinite possibilities, where creation is incredible. It can do anything. And it's also, we are a part of that, and we are a divine creator, so we can literally do anything. So we can, if we feel stuck, as Holly mentioned earlier, there really isn't a stuckness. As soon as you start to open up to it, there's an infinite number of possibilities or solutions to any creation that we create. So you can easily just relax into that moment of, one would say, stuckness, to then start to allow the synchronicities, the solutions, the possibilities to come forward, because the universe is always striving to help us at every single moment of every day.
Yeah, and I just want to add, for all the listeners here, just take a moment and think about your most stuck place, or the thing that is the greatest mystery to you, like, am I ever going to get past this? Just take a breath and open up to the idea that in this field of infinite possibilities, there is always a solution. Even if you haven't connected with it yet, just breathe into that. That solution energy abounds. And in our physical form and in our mind, we may not know what the solution is, but it exists already. And as we connect with that, just even the possibility, it opens up our energy field to allow more to come in. And so when we hold that space, well, there always is a solution. It's so expansive and transforming just in that moment.
You say they were... I've heard and also saying that this is a tool to help you with assistant ascension. How would you then define that?
Well,
ascension?
actually, I was thinking it would be great to experience it.
We will in just a moment.
Could we? Yeah?
Yeah.
But I want it now.
No, you'll get it. But I want, and before you go into this, we've got, I think, an 8-minute or so experience. It's an experience with a sphere. But you say it helps assist in ascension. What do you mean by that?
Well, I would say this is my definition of ascension. Everyone has a different definition. Our ascension is our expanding into more. So our awareness increases to more. So previously we were kind of just mostly locked into our little physical form and our physical life and our experiences associated with that. But ascension is opening up to more. Our experiences become more, our awareness becomes more, our information and connectedness to the higher beings, Kryon, etc., becomes so much more. They are here to guide us. And we start to realize that we are not alone. We are surrounded at every moment of every day in so many ways by so much love and so much support. And it's our awakening to that, as I believe, as part of our ascension.
And well, thank you for that, because there are too many who have looked at the word and said, well, that means we're dying. In other words, you ascend when you leave. And Kryon now for 30 years has said that's not so, and given the definition that you just gave. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like this potential is already here. So the way Ishara talks about it is you're dropping the veil, if you will, perceptual veil, so that the ascension is opening to what's already there, that potential that's already there, and living in that place that you are utilizing any of the dimensional qualities that you need in this moment in time. There are a lot of dimensional qualities we don't need right now when we're in our human experience, but there is more that we can connect to, so that really we're living into our infinite potential right here, right now, not needing to wait until we meet some unimagined goal.
Well, let's do the sphere. I think we're ready to experience.
Okay, let's do it. So now for those of you in the audience listening, firstly, just take a few moments to just close your eyes, take a deep breath, get comfortable. As you just take a few deep breaths, this allows you to just move into your presence, to your awareness of you here now. Part of this focus is to kind of just ask our mind to just be on the side now, and it can just observe, but it's not the real main focus of where we are. We're moving more down into our hearts. And while I'm creating the universal sphere here, all you need to do is just be in that place of receiving. It works wonderfully well, whether it's live or whether it's a replay. And so those of you that are watching us live is perfect, and those of you when you watch it as a replay, it's perfect too. It works just as well. Okay. And what most people tend to experience is just a really sudden shift of peace, centeredness, and relaxation. And why wouldn't you when you're being reconnected multidimensionally? So, okay. So with your eyes closed, take a few nice deep breaths in. And there'll be a few moments where I'm just quiet as I'm creating the sphere, but I'll keep chiming in just to give you guidance in this whole process. And so, and as you take a few nice deep breaths in, you could draw some beautiful bright light into yourself. As you bring this bright light in, could be any color that you choose. Allow this light to come in, nourish you physically, nourish you in your light and energy bodies. And as you bring this light in, expand the light of you out. Remember, you primarily are this incredible being of light. It's allowing you to start to temporarily move away from the awareness of the physical and move into your slightly more aware of the non-physical. And as you do so, just bring your focus, your attention down to your heart. Through your heart is where you're going to be connecting up to pineal, pituitary, celestial chakra and beyond. So you're opening up this channel. And just gently keep your focus on the place of your heart. Be in that place of receiving. And as this